Johnny and Eve Ortiz. What is going on with these lovebirds? I mean, I feel like I just made a video about them making out in secret, and now here we are where Johnny is saying that JEVE is over or whatever, and y'all have been wanting an update. So, here I want to put Johnny's energy and his feelings towards Eve at this time, and then here I want to put Eve's feelings towards Johnny at this time, and in the center, any predictions or any energy that wants to make itself known or whatever. So let's see. Oh, okay. I mean, 10 of Pentacles in the middle. That kind of says it all. Let's see. How does Johnny feel about Eve at this time? How does Johnny feel about Eve at this time? How does Johnny feel about Eve at this time? 9 of Pentacles, abundance. Why is the 9 of Pentacles here? Ace of Cups. There. Okay, so 9 of Pentacles, abundance, luxury, success, independence, prosperity, Ace of Cups, proposal, marriage, intuition, spiritual, new feelings. How does Eve feel about Johnny at this time? Page of Pentacles. Death, rebirth, metamorphosis, new beginning, change, transformation. This is also the Scorpio card, the death card. So I feel like when they both started this, they kind of were just going along with the shipping that the fan base was creating, the clips and all of that. They went along with it. It was just supposed to be clip farming, whatever, getting to know each other, exploring. We know from the past how Johnny literally, I don't know if you guys remember, but I remember following him during the Japan trip, and literally, I don't know if he has those videos up still, but literally every other video was a different girl. So Johnny was very much used to clip farming and just collabing with girls and being kind of like a no strings attached type of situation. So when him and Eve just coincidentally just started clip farming and kind of going along with the shipping, I feel like he didn't really think anything of it other than, oh, we're just clip farming, we're just collabing, I guess. And I feel like Eve was more attracted to Johnny than Johnny was at Eve. So she was going along with it as well. And then somewhere in between, I feel like their emotions kind of got in the way, where maybe they did like each other, but they were both playing hard to get type of thing. Like 9 of Pentacles is the most single energy you could find. And I feel like, and just like this, the Page of Pentacles, the Death card, they're very like polar opposites. So I feel like they flip-flop from wanting to be in a relationship to then not wanting to be in a relationship, and then to not wanting to be hurt, to playing hard to get, to then, oh, it's real, but then, oh my god, now it's not real. And I truly do think that I don't know if you guys remember, it's in one of the update videos, but when Johnny collabed with all those girls and Eve was visually like upset about it, that's when I feel like Johnny, that's when Johnny realized that it was more than just clip farming if she was actually upset. So I feel like that kind of changed trajectory in their relationship of like, okay, it's collabing, we're clip farming for views and to just elevate each other, to where their feelings got in the way. They kind of did like each other, they were into each other, they were vibing, they were doing really well. But then I also feel like them talking to their exes like Eve, and then Johnny talking to different girls is almost like it's almost like a safety net. I'm seeing it. They're almost being like, well, since him and her, okay, let's say I'm Eve right now, right? Since Johnny's not showing me that he's fully with it, or that he's not putting a title, or he's not serious about it, then I'm gonna have the safety net of like protecting my heart and having these guys on the sidelines, to where if Johnny one day says, oh, it was nothing or whatever, it'll be like, well, I don't really care because I have all these dudes on the sideline, right? Same with Johnny, since Eve was also kind of in that game of like, I want something, but then I don't, but then I'm also like clip farming. He's like, well, I'm gonna have these girls on the sideline to protect myself. So I feel like this is very much their emotions, because honestly, Johnny is a lot more emotional than he comes off. The only thing is that Johnny does it behind closed doors. See, Three of Swords, very much grief, suffering, heartbreak, sorry, emotional pain. As I say that, but he doesn't show that. Eve is a bit more expressive, so to her, she kind of says it in a low key way because she is a Scorpio. They're very much about secrets and keeping their emotions and their stuff kind of like low key, not showing too much until they truly trust you. So I feel like it's a lot of that. Let's see. Is Johnny and Eve, are they gonna reconciliate? Are they gonna talk and get back together? I don't know why I forgot that word just now. Ooh, girl. The Emperor. To be honest, with the Emperor vibes, the Ten of Pentacles, I do feel like at some point they're gonna put their feelings aside and just kind of like collab, because they know that it's obviously people like them together. So I feel like they're gonna collab. But I think at this time their egos might be in the way. The Emperor, very much like I call it the toxic masculine. In a reading like this, I would call it like, oh, the toxic masculine. Too many cards, so we'll just put him in the deck. Okay. So the toxic masculine. Why is the Three of Pentacles here? Because that talks about teamwork, implementation leader, learning and collaboration. So that's where I was saying that their feelings got in the way, because first it was going to be just collabing and clip farming and doing it to elevate their careers, their views or whatever. But then their feelings got in the way, but they weren't very clear to each other about how they felt. So also I feel like okay, yeah, see, exactly what I said. Six of Wands, progress, confidence, victory, public acknowledgement. So I feel like they will be putting their feelings aside, and they're just gonna be more, they're gonna talk again, and they're gonna be clip farming for us again. They're gonna give us the entertainment. But I do feel like when they start talking again or clip farming again, it might be a little bit different. And to be honest, like, let's say, like, the only reason we know that Eve is still talking or hanging out with her exes is because she is on stream, because her career, her work is streaming. So that's the only reason, and because she's famous. So if somebody sees her out at a rave with her exes, people are going to be like, oh my gosh, she's with her ex and she was talking to Johnny yesterday. That's the only reason. But in a typical, like, normal relationship of like normies like us, that were like, oh well, I'm dating this guy, but I also see my ex here and there for, like, to get my rocks off or whatever. And nobody knows, because nobody is out there like catching us talking to our exes while we're dating somebody. So since they are technically like in that dating stage, I feel like they, like Wendy said, they don't owe each other loyalty or anything. But I do feel like they're both very territorial. So that's where I feel like the jealousy comes in or whatever. And then both of them are kind of toxic, obviously. So that's where like Johnny is like questioning Evan, like, who were you talking to, da da da, and takes it personal. So, but and at the same time, if you guys remember, that girl came out with the released or exposed the messages that Johnny was sending to her, where he was like, oh, when I'm back home from Austin, we'll link or whatever, and not that he owes Evan anything, but because they are in the public eye, these things are known. And of course, Evan is gonna feel some type of way about it. Johnny's gonna feel some type about it. So it's not really that odd. And I don't know, maybe you guys can say, if you guys, when you guys are dating, do you guys date like a roster, or do you guys just date one person at a time? Maybe that also is like the difference, because there is different type of people, and just because you don't think it's right, doesn't mean that somebody else is gonna think that it's not, so that's something else to think about. The Page of Pentacles, the Death card. Let's see, how is Eva feeling about Johnny at this time? I think right now she is assessing her emotions for sure. Four of Swords, she's contemplating, she's thinking, she's revisiting conversations. She's definitely like thinking of this a lot. There's a constant like green light, red light, green light, red light with them. Very I would say they're a bit toxic for each other, to be honest. Let's see. The Ace of Cups. Why is the Ace of Cups here for Johnny? The Hermit. So, like I said, Johnny is very much the type to hide his emotion and go into like hermit mode. When he's thinking of something, he goes into hermit mode. So right now he is definitely pulling back his energy, and until his emotions are resolved within himself, he'll come out and maybe reach out. But also, I feel like since he is a bit toxic, that's why he was like, well, JEVE is over for now, because he knows that he's gonna take some time away to think, to talk to with himself more than anything, to like resolve it, and then once he's ready to come out and talk to Eve and be back to clip farming, because they know that it's good for their career. And I feel like they also deep down, I mean, they both understand that they're not official, so also that's something that they have to realize, like, we weren't official, so we could literally talk to whoever we want. We don't owe each other anything. But there is a moment where they have to DTR, define the relationship. That's the energies are so polar opposites. Like, they literally go from hot to cold, wanting to be single to be wanting in a relationship, to wanting to be single to wanting to be in a relationship. They're so funny with their energy. Let's see. In the center are reconciliation for them. I would say yes. Oh, Hermit card, strength, religion, ethics. Okay, so I would say yeah. To be honest, I feel like they will reconciliate. I don't know why I keep thinking that the word sounds funny to me. Let's see what else. Any predictions? What can we expect? Wait, what month is it? Oh, towards the end. What can we expect for the end or early September for them? What can we expect for early September? What can we expect early September for Johnny and Eve? Page of Swords. This speaks about communication. So maybe right now they're gonna not talk until early September. What else can we expect for early September? Okay, I mean, they're gonna talk. They're not gonna get together and start dating anytime soon. I think I've said that in the past video update as well, that they still have a lot to work on in themselves. Ten of Cups, I would say blessings, divine love, family, harmony, alignment, bliss. Let's see. What else? I think we still got time. We're still chilling. King of Wands. The attraction is just, I mean, they're physically, energetically attracted to each other. So, I mean, I feel like it's a constant push and pull between them. It's giving twin flame vibes, to be honest, where they literally, like, are at each other's throats, like, challenging each other to level up. And I feel like if they both level up together, I feel like they could do a lot, because that's usually what twin flame relationships do. They force you to change when you've been in a stagnant place for a long time. See, I'm telling you, the Six of Cups, reconciliation. Two of Cups. Okay, yeah, they're gonna definitely be back together. But I do see that they have to resolve the trickery. They have to put a stop to the trickery, to the messiness. They have to start being honest with themselves about their emotions, about how they feel, and maybe even be more honest about the clip farming, you know? Not maybe realize that, hey, clip farming is kind of like, I'm kind of catching feelings for this person. So maybe we shouldn't clip farm this hard. Just the way that Wendy Ortiz did with DDG. She literally said on stream, she was like, if I keep clip farming the relationship and the flirting, I'm gonna catch feelings, so I'm just gonna put a stop to it now, you know? So I feel like that's what Johnny and Eve have to do. Yes, the clip farming is good for their career, but it also comes at the expense of their emotions being affected. So that's why I feel like they have to put an end to the clip farming, or at least if they're not gonna end the clip farming, at least to get serious, like, hey, have a talk, define the relationship, be like, hey, we're just friends, we're just gonna clip farm for funsies, we're not gonna be catching feelings. Or even like, I mean, I feel like they like each other so much, but their traumas, their own personal traumas is keeping them at bay of each other, and the constant hot and cold energy. So I feel like if they really like define their relationship, said, hey, I don't like this, I do like this, they would really be more successful. But both of them are very avoidant. So I feel like that's the one thing that they have to realize, like, open up to each other more emotionally. And it doesn't need to be on stream. It could be just behind behind the scenes they could talk and kind of settle it and open up to each other and be like, hey, this is how I feel, this is where I'm at now, this is how Eva feels, this is where she's at now, how can we move forward? Because they have a really, really beautiful relationship. We obviously like their vibe, their energy. So I do think that they would benefit from being good friends. And if something comes of it and they do level up together, then maybe in the future there could be a relationship. But for now, I think just working on themselves, defining the relationship, not expecting too much out of each other, to be honest, and then also not to listen to those wild captions on clips, because the clips also create a narrative when it comes to their relationship. But yeah, there's the update. I hope you guys love this because I honestly wanted JEVE to be so real. Once I heard them kissing, I was like, oh yeah, it's real. And then the whole situation happened. So yeah, let me know what you think.